everybody. Happy Wednesday. What you can't see, that's supposed to say an abbreviated live. Because I can only go until 8:05 this morning. So we're going to be running through some people real quick. And then we'll have a longer live Friday morning. Good morning, good morning. How is everyone today? I had to get a cup of coffee because I was up kind of late. I know, Harley, for her other child. And I didn't even get to talk about her, but just since you brought Cody up, she starts dry begging for the birthday party. She tells everybody his actual birthday and the day that the party is going to be. And then she says, but he wants a pre-birthday gift, like a Roblox card or something like that. And she's like, it's $3.50, but I don't have it. Okay. She must have said it 10 more times. She is the dry begging queen. And then she's like, but I can't ask for help on here. Why do your followers need to know that your son wants a $3.50 Roblox card before his actual birthday? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Why? To me, that is... I don't even know what I want to say. I can't say. I just find that to be, you are taking advantage of the people who like you, in my opinion. And I said this when I spoke about her for those few days, that what I'm afraid is going to happen is that she will have bled her supporters dry after Christmas and a couple of birthdays, that when the next child's birthday comes and people aren't giving as much, what does that child get? Does she say to that child, well, we didn't get anything from TikTok, so sorry? Because that's not fair. So it's one thing if you say my son's birthday is such and such, and whatever people give is fine. But for you to rely on strangers to give the decorations, the cake, the pizza, the drinks, and the gifts, like, I mean, all of the gifts. When the bus station leaves, what does that child get? Oh, well, she's on the list. Yeah, it was Roblox cards. And I think she asked for $3.50 because she knows she's going to be hitting them up for that party. But ma'am, your kid's birthday is the same every year. And when your kids are important, you do what you got to do. And so when the gifting runs out, and it always does eventually, even with people with kids, eventually the money runs out. They find a new person that they like. They find a new person that they think needs it more than you. Whatever the case may be. And she has a lot of kids in that house. Right, ask Kiki. Facts. She has a lot of kids in that house. And does she really expect TikTok to take care of all of them? Seven birthdays plus Christmas, probably plus Halloween. I'm surprised she didn't ask to give them something for Valentine's Day. Okay, well, since it's an abbreviated live, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Well, I mean, I kind of have already, but you know what I mean. Let's start with these two. So, Easter bastards, yep. So, let me go back in my notes to a couple of days ago. And I want y'all to know something, how dedicated I am. I had 2 appointments yesterday. And my 2 phones and my notebook came with me. I know I need to touch some grass. I need to put the phone down. I want to make sure that I go back far enough. Okay, yep. So, back on the 28th of February, he had $30 left for the room. Good morning. And he was telling people that if 6 people just gave $5, he would be straight. And he was like, let's start the $5 trade. And then he said, once you give it to me, the pain will be over. The pain for who? Those of us that got to listen to you? You're right. If somebody gave you the $30, our pain would be over. But he wasn't talking to us. He was talking to his supporters. And then when people were like talking about him getting a job, he said he screwed up in the head. I wouldn't disagree with you. But if you have the composure, the ability, the desire to stand here and beg, there are a lot of jobs that are less strenuous, sir. A lot of jobs that are less strenuous. And then he was saying that giving to him is only scary because of the awareness and that they're lying to you. And then he calls them gullible for believing us. And then he said, we don't deserve to be outside. We're done with it. Then he said, it's not safe for a woman outside. Ty, when Bree was getting up before sunlight to go to school, getting back after sunlight, did you ever go walk with her since it was so dangerous? No, you were on TikTok begging for money. But now you want to use dangerous as a reason why? But it's the deserve part for me. It's the deserve part for me. Then he said that they share love and we share hate. And then he used that we're willfully ignorant. I wonder where he got that phrase from. Because that's what I say. Ain't it interesting? Right, they were outside. So then we come to, where are they? Goodness, there's so many. The 4th. Now, in between the 28th and the 4th, they have had a harder and harder and harder time to get the money. So apparently their hotel room, according to him, has gone up to $87.49 because of tariffs. I didn't know that they happened that fast, but I guess it's plausible. And let's be honest, companies are going to raise prices whether it's tariff related or not, because how are we going to know? So expect everything to go up, whether it's affected by the tariffs or not. When they raised prices around COVID, right? Did they slash them prices when COVID was over? No. So just be an expectation. But at that point that I started watching, someone had given them $10. So all they needed was $77.19. And he's singing it. But by now, he is so bothered by the comments that he now has them off. And every couple of minutes, he had to explain that. First he said it's the haters, and then he was like, well, I don't mind the haters because you're going to have haters everywhere. But I'm sick of the people lying. So Ty, let's go through the truth and then find the lie for me. The truth is that both you and her could go home. But you would have to go home separately. So you don't have to be on the street. You get a Social Security check of almost, not quite, but almost $1,000. And you do not spend that for your housing unless you have to. With that Social Security check, you more than likely qualify for food stamps. So for them to say that you use your Social Security check for food, yeah, I doubt it. Highly. Now, do you might have to buy things that food stamps don't cover? Yes. Do you maybe get to the end of the month and don't have enough? Maybe. But you're not starving. Your girlfriend can get an ID, can get a Social Security card for free so that she can get a job. Because if she could go to school, she could get a job. And if you can write, rap, mix, master, and promote your music, you can get a job. Because this is the thing. The goal for him, of course, is to get his music out there, hopefully get picked up by some record label or some management and do music, right? You're going to have to perform that music, Ty. So if you can do that, miss me what you can't get a job. So Ty, find the lie for me. Find the lie. Now you can call me a hater for not liking your lifestyle, but find the lie. He said, either I ask for help or I'm outside, and I'm not going to be outside. Well, sure. You want to ask for the help? Ask for it. But don't get mad when people expose you. And don't get mad when people stop funding your lifestyle, because guess what? Thank you. Guess what? People are going to get tired of the fact that they've been funding you for this long and nothing has changed. Not a single thing. And I wrote down, what do you do with your SSI check, sir? And then he said, F that shit. And then I wrote, okay, then get a job and pay for it. And then he made sure that we knew that it was illegal for him to put up a tent and that all of the shelters are closed. What do y'all think is going to happen if the money runs dry? Now, Bree, if you end up back on the street and you're not willing to go home, at least until y'all can get this mysterious apartment, baby girl, trust me, Ty will keep you in a bad situation selfishly, because any man that loves you is going to be like, listen, it's dangerous out here. I love you. Go home. I'll figure it out. And when we're ready for an apartment, that's what we'll do. That's the man that loves you. They could get, Mrs. Evers, they could get subsidized housing. They could get Section 8, and then they would qualify. And his Social Security would qualify him for an apartment. Now, can he have her on the lease? That's another question. But anybody that loves their partner and knows that their partner could be inside where it's safe, especially if it's a woman, and he won't do that for you because he needs to drag you all over Kingdom Come because he knows that you are the sympathy factor, that's not love. And so he went, I think All For One said last night that he thinks he went until about 10:38 their time. They have to be out of the hotel at 11, and he just ended the live. So your money is running short, sir. And now it's not the dead of winter. We are heading into spring. And you think people are going to keep you in a hotel through the spring and the summer? Maybe a day or two. And he was like, I deserve to take a shower every day. And then he said, well, not every day. What? You mean to tell me you are in a hotel room and you don't shower every day? Bro. And then he was like, I deserve to sleep on a bed. You deserve what you can provide. It is a gift if someone else pays for it. That's not a deserve. A deserve is what you can afford, what you can provide. And what most people do is they get a job, they work hard, and then they use that pay from working hard to deserve the things they want. They deserve what they can provide for themselves, and you are no different. So find the lie, Ty. Oh, he did, because he just got his Social Security check. Which is why he was willing. And then he'll probably come back and be like, somebody gave me money at the last minute. Yeah, you gave it to yourself. You spent your money. So when he pops up and he's like, oh, somebody sent me money at the last minute and thank you so much. He actually had to spend his own money, in my opinion. And let's be clear about something. It is alleged that Gigi gives one of her mods money to gift her to get the gifting started. And then she's like, oh, thank you. Thank you. The goal is to just get it started. And then when other people see other people give, they're more inclined to give because they think, well, if they vetted them and they think it's okay to send money, then I feel like it's okay for me to send money. There's no too low for them, okay? I think he lies too sometimes. And then he also was like, the comments are also off because if you want to gift, then you can remain anonymous. They could always remain anonymous. What are you talking about? Unless somebody says, you know, check your Venmo or check your Cash App or I sent $10. They never have to say a single thing and none of us would know. We would only know that somebody gave money because you would knock the number down. But when that money was coming hot and fast, and in a half hour, an hour, you had it all, and you would get off immediately. You don't even provide your gifters with any sort of entertainment. And wait, I want to show you all something. Let me see if I can find it. Hopefully, it's not too far back. Oh no, I took it off the other phone. Okay, I took it off the other phone. But their subscription is $17 a month. And that's with the discount for the first month. And you don't even provide any entertainment. You don't provide anything. At the moment you get the money, and okay, fine, you get the money, you go pay it. How come you don't never come back and entertain the people who gave you the money? Do you not think that people are going to feel like you don't really appreciate it? If someone was paying for my living quarters, what you want me to do? You want me to jump? You want me to sing? You want me to rap to you? You want me to dance around? You want to watch me play with my cats? What do you want? Right. I'd rather go eat McDonald's or Burger King. What? You don't even provide anybody with anything and you want $17. And that's where you understand that he comes from a place of arrogance. We were unconditional. Oh my God. Next. So, as I told y'all before, he claims that he was on this deserted road and needed $100 so that he could have money for shelter and to pay for his phone. I believe he only got 22. So last night he was on again, and he was asking for the same $100. He wanted his phone bill paid and a bus ticket to get out of that small town. Nick, how come you always end up in a small town that you got to get out of, that you expect other people to pay for you to get out of? And he was like, I had to spend the rest of my little money so that he was in a restaurant, and he was like, so that I could sit here and like charge my phone. Now, for everybody who is wondering, how do you classify a scammer from somebody in need? Because technically speaking, he's somebody in need, right? Watch the comments a little bit. Because when you see people making recommendations and he or she has an excuse for why none of it will work, instead of one red flag, that's 5 for me. Because you haven't even tried. People suggested, why spend $60 on your phone when you could have a place to lay your head? Why don't you call 211 and find out what resources they do have there? Because the reality is that sometimes in a smaller place, there aren't as many homeless. Now, it could also mean that there aren't a lot of beds, but it could also mean that they have a bed. You don't know what you don't know. And the only thing you can do is try to find out. But instead of saying, you know what, guys, I'm going to try to see if I can figure out a way to call 211. You can ask strangers on TikTok for money. Why can't you ask somebody you pass by, I'm homeless, can I please borrow your phone to call 211? Or, you know what? You can hold your phone, just dial 211 for me, because I don't want you to think that I want to steal it, but my phone is off. And I just want to know what resources are out there. You could go into a mom and pop shop and be like, do you have a landline? But it's so much easier to get on TikTok. You don't actually have to face anybody. You don't actually have to extend yourself other than to beg for money. And he's used to that now. That doesn't bother him in the least. And then somebody was like, what happened? And he was like, because I'm a F up. And he told us he was on Straight Talk, and maybe he might change his account from the $60 one to the $35 one. Maybe? Sir, you can't afford a $60 a month phone bill. People made recommendation after recommendation. He makes me think of Sean, who no matter what you tell him, he already knows the answer. He already knows it's not going to work. And it's almost like, just do what I say. Just send me the money. I know what I'm doing. But sir, if you knew what you were doing, you wouldn't be in the predicament you're in. You have traveled all over this country on somebody else's dime to be in the exact same spot you were in before. I almost feel like, and I said this last night, and this is my opinion, but I almost feel like when he had the job, he kept saying, as soon as I get my check, I won't have to be on here asking for money. Well, people stopped giving him money even before that. They just stopped. And then he started getting his paycheck, but he didn't have a lot of disposable income. He had to work for that money. Why would you leave a place where you had, at the very least, a part-time job and a place to live, to go all the way to Texas, knowing what you know about your background? The mission didn't seem to care. Maybe they just didn't know. But you purposely put yourself in a set of circumstances that prevented you from having any success. If your hours got cut, go somewhere else and look for a job. Have 2 jobs. No, he'd rather sit on here and beg for money and get free hotel rooms and food and everything else. Mind you, in the state of Texas, you do not have to have a permanent address to get food stamps and Medicaid. And let's talk about how we know this. Mr. Sean. So, Mr. Sean is on multiple times a day. He goes from TikTok to favorited back to TikTok. He prefers favorited because, as he says, he can be an adult. And I will tell you that no, he's allowed to be a child on favorited. That's what he likes. An adult can hold a conversation without having to be disgusting, without having to be vulgar. Sean cannot. You should be able to get mad and still maintain a level of composure. That's what adults do. Children react off of every little thing. Children don't have impulse control. At Sean's big age, he should have it. But it explains why he doesn't work. It explains why he can't maintain a relationship. Because he has no impulse control. And he's like, you make him mad, even if it's unintentional, he's going to go off immediately. And Sean is the kind of person to ask for forgiveness rather than permission. So he's going to go off on you. He's going to say whatever, do whatever. And then when he finally calms down, he might apologize. Sean gives me love bombing vibes. Sean gives me narcissistic. Because he thinks he is the smartest person in the room at all times. And he finds women who challenge him in any way, like, we're trying to be men too. And he's a man, so he shouldn't have to put up with women and our gossiping ways. Sir, again, tell me the lie. Tell me the lie. What did I say that wasn't factual? If it wasn't my opinion. And even that is informed. What's so crazy is I think I'm older than him. But I certainly look better than him. You used to tell him he had no impulse control? Facts upon facts. None whatsoever. So, he pissed me off He's 47. Yep, then I'm older than him. And that's Michigana. Anyway, my Yiddish word for the day. Michigana. Anyway, on the 3rd, he had a nerve to say that people like me, Scammy Claus, he only names the women, of course. Doesn't mention the men who talk about him, just the women. That we are stopping his progress. He claims that us on this side have called housing authorities to prevent him from getting housing. Sean, we only knew where you were in the last 72 hours. We had speculation. How are we preventing you from getting housing? You told all of us you were 35th, 38th on the list. So how are we stopping your progress? And then he took it too far. He said, they are signing my death warrant and they don't care. How, Sean? So then he talks about this blood disorder that he has, which the ex said it's real. So, it's real. But he said that he produces too much blood and he needs the service that removes it. He said that we are actually trying to unalive him. And I wrote down, maybe you should have stayed where you were. None of us told you to move across the country. And now you have no more health care. You have no doctors. How is that our fault? But it's all a ploy for sympathy, guys. Because he actually could get medical in the state of Texas. And this is what was hilarious. So when people were like, go get services, like, and he was like, oh, I can't. And then he told his audience to go look it up. And when I tell you, my heart smiled when he did that. He's very quick to block. Yes, he's in Texas, down by Corpus Christi. Shout out to Texas Tiff. I was like, here we go. And even though it was late, I was like, I am staying for this. Because I have been saying it for a couple of weeks now. Well, people went. And then they came back. And they were like, yes, you can get it if you're homeless. And he was like, y'all don't know what you're talking about. When I tell you the entire chat, including one of his mods, was like, no, Sean, you told us to look it up. And we did. And yes, you can get it. You can be homeless. He couldn't even say anything. Because he realized he just effed up. He couldn't even say anything. Now, personally, it's my opinion that he's angry about what happened with the woman. And I think he thought, if I can woo this woman, she has a place to live. I can go post up, even if it's on her couch to begin with. Then I don't got to worry about it. And so I think that he has some displaced anger. So he's upset about this woman, so now all women are trash. Because when he said that we were signing his death warrant, he said, I hope you're happy, Sammy Claus. Why would she be happy? And then he told us that he hopes that those of us who reveal the truth about him, he hopes that we fall down the stairs. What a gentleman. What a gentleman. I wonder why she only stood there for an hour and walked away, never to return. I might have done the same. He would have never gotten a call back from me, but it is what it is. He is very misogynistic, for sure. This one here is getting on my nerves. I am seriously starting to doubt that she has said job. Because my question is this: if you are working full time and you tell us every night you got to go to work and that's why you need things, why do you need money every day? Like, where is it that you get paid and you're not asking for money? Now, I believe somebody said that the whole court case thing wasn't about a fight, it was about payments. And if that's the case, I haven't verified that for myself, but if that's the case, it will explain why she's asking for money every day, because she's trying to get her rent up. She's trying to get her electric bill up. Right. She wants food and Gatorade. And the other night, she claimed that someone said that they ordered her food at Rally's, and when she got there, their money wasn't there. And she was practically in tears, and someone went on ahead and bought it for her. Jordan, instead of playing people, if you don't have that job, I'm going to suggest you get that job. And if you have that job and you need to come on here and beg every day, then it's time for a second job. Because it is not strangers' job to buy your dog $60 dog food. Now, I'm not going to doubt that her dog needs that. They have that variety of food because some dogs cannot handle the junk, right? I get it. But if you can't afford them, please send them somewhere where somebody can. Because that's cruel. So yesterday, you knew all day long that you didn't have dog food, according to you. You waited until an hour and a half before you had to be at work to come on TikTok to beg for money for dog food. And you told us that you hadn't fed the dogs all day. Why are you waiting until now? Is it so that there's a time crunch so that you don't got to be on here for 2 or 3 hours? If you say, listen, I got to be to work at 11:30 and it's 10 o'clock. That way, the longest you have to be on is an hour and a half. I really do wish people will wake up. And I think that some of the people who give her money are people who are attracted to her, if I'm being honest. But she's not going to be with you. You're a stranger to her. You're her ATM. That's it, that's all. Okay. Who else? Okay. Let's see. Miss Axe Girl, Cece, and Kevin. Oh, sorry guys. Let me move this. Come on. So I haven't been watching her for very long. And I'm not going to call her a scammer yet. She gives me scammy vibes. For sure. Anybody who goes to the grocery store with no money, walks around and talks to people, is scammy vibes. That's scammy vibes. I wish I would go to a store with no money, walk around, talk to people to try to get them to give me money for groceries when you have a whole grown man in the house with you. And you give food stamps. But this is how they do it, because Kiki does it too. They will, and there's another girl that did it. They walk around the store and this was her in particular. What should I do for dinner tonight, guys? Like, I don't have any ideas, and I need it to kind of last. And people are just, oh, spaghetti, oh, this, chili, blah, chili and hot dogs. And she was like, I don't eat hot dogs because I don't know what's in them. I don't eat pork. Ma'am, you don't know that there are all beef hot dogs? Of course she does. But she wants to sound ignorant, uninformed, so that people feel like, oh, well, we gotta help her. She doesn't even know that there are all beef hot dogs. And she had her baby with her. And he wanted a toy. Josh, that's funny. She had her baby with her, and he wanted a toy, and he started crying. And at that point, I felt like the comments took a turn that it shouldn't have. He's a child, and when they want a toy, they cry. Why do they cry? Because sometimes when they cry, they get the thing they want. She was trying to console him. And I know a lot of people felt like that was to get people to give money. But this is the thing. If she had yelled at him and told him to stop crying, people would call CPS. What was she supposed to do? Now, do I think she should have muted and addressed him and let him know whatever she wanted to let him know? Yes. Because then you're not using it for sympathy. I understand why people felt like that was for sympathy, because he was bawling his eyes out. But what did y'all expect her to do? Yell at him? Tell him to shut up? Y'all have to pick a lane. Either you want a nurturing parent, or you want a parent who is so strict that as soon as she looks at them, they stop crying. And then you'll call CPS. Like, pick a lane, people. Now, do I think she allowed him, she kept the mic on so that people would feel empathy? Yeah, I do. But he's a child, so of course he's going to cry because he wants something. And I appreciated the people in the comments who were like, listen, he has to learn that he can't always get what he wants. And either you're going to teach him that lesson now, or when he grows up, he'll be a Sean who expects the world to hand him something because he wants it. And you're going to set him up for a rude awakening because he's not always going to get what he wants. But people, please pick a lane. Either you want her to be empathetic to her child, you want her to be calm, you want her to talk to him reasonably, or you want to be able to call CPS. But please pick a lane. Correct. So then the next time I saw her, she was telling her what I believe to be one of the worst stories any woman could tell, that she was pregnant with a little girl and she miscarried. I think she said 32 weeks. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you are a scammer or not. That is emotionally, mentally, physically exhausting. Because at that late stage, you actually have to deliver the baby. So you go through all of the things and then you don't get to bring your baby home. So that on that point, I have a great deal of empathy for her. However, she got all of the women kind of riled up about it. She had other women sharing their stories. And I scrolled out because I don't need to drag somebody for something like that. Like, why would I? I'm a woman. But when I scrolled back in, the entire energy had shifted. And she was right back to being who she always is. Talking about the haters, talking about how she doesn't beg, she's asking for help, talking about her gift gallery and her goals and what she needs out of people. And I'm like, ma'am, that was a quick shift. I have seen videos of her. Guess what she posts? And now TikTok gives it to you. When you go live, TikTok will give you clips of your live so that you can show your gifts, right? And your reaction to getting them and blah, blah, blah. Her account is full of those clips. I wonder why. Because at the end of the day, that's all you really care about. Is what you can get from strangers on the internet. Ma'am, your child is old enough to go to daycare. And I choose a child being old enough to go to daycare when they can tell you what happened. I understand why before a mother can guarantee that their child can explain something to them, I could understand why they wouldn't want to put their child in a regular daycare. But that's only if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, go get a job. What also cracks me up is that people who say they have social anxiety, why your face all over the internet? Why are you prepared to show your top and your bottom? But you have social anxiety. Okay. I'm not a psychiatrist. But girl, I'll be watching. And if I find something off, I'll be here 3 days a week to report it. I'm not calling you a scammer yet, but you certainly give me scammy vibes. So if you don't know her, give her a look. Correct, J Mouse. And I agree with you, even the big creators. What I love, and this is my only point of reference, but do you know how many, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the show Love and Hip Hop, but why are they all coming here now and going live and battling? And I just got to add this. Casey Anthony, if your account isn't gone, I'm going to do everything in my power to get it gone. I saw something this morning that said it was gone. I reported her second video. And TikTok said that they found that it did violate their community guidelines. When I tell you I jumped up and down for joy, I'm going to do everything. You absolutely have no right to come. I don't want to hear your side of the story. You better go get a podcast somewhere, because not here. And crazy, she had gotten 60,000 followers. Like, what? She went on here 48 hours and she has 60,000. What's the fascination? Go climb back in the hole you were in. I don't want you here. Okay, so I want to talk about something else. So, I have been called a bully. And we all know about the time that I got called a bully in my live by Topanga. And we know that Erlina called me a bully in All for One's live. And so I think that they think that I have a problem with that. I am not that thin-skinned. Okay? But let's talk about it. The definition of a bully. This one says it's a blustering, browbeating person. Someone who is habitually cruel, insulting, or threatening to others who are weaker, smaller, or in some way vulnerable. It could also be a pimp. Hey, P-I-M-P. A hired ruffian. Sorry. But then the archaic meaning of bully was sweetheart and a fine chap. How about I take that one? I'm a sweetheart. So if that's what you mean when you call me a bully, I accept. I accept. This is the verb definition. To treat someone in a cruel, insulting, threatening, or aggressive fashion. To act like a bully towards someone. Me stating fact and using... Hold on. Me stating fact and using that information to formulate my opinions is not bullying. To cause someone to do something by means of force or coercion. I'm sitting on an app. I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. Yeah, and that post came down. She put it back up. It came down again. Thank you to everybody who had my back. I appreciate it. Because you can call me a lot of things, but a bully? No. The queen of misinformation? No. Do I get stuff wrong? Of course I do. I'm an imperfect human being. I can read a room and read it wrong. But that's not my intent. So, we did a little chat GBT. And I know y'all can't see it all, but it's whether bringing awareness about a scammer on TikTok is the same as bullying depends heavily on how that awareness is spread. So here's the breakdown. Bringing awareness is focusing on facts, sharing concrete evidence of the scam, providing clear explanations of how the scam works, offering resources for victims, prioritizing prevention, aiming I'm sorry, I just got a message and that completely threw me off. Aiming to educate others to avoid falling victim. Encouraging reporting of the scam to relevant authorities. Bullying is personal attacks. Harassing, threatening, or insulting the alleged scammer. Sharing their personal information via doxing. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I am going to post this on my page. Hold on. I can't see the bottom. Hold on. Making false accusations or exaggerated claims and contributing to a mob mentality that disregards due process. One last page. So these are the key considerations. The first one is intent. Is the goal to protect others or to inflict harm? Well, we all know I'm not here to inflict harm. I don't even necessarily care about the scammer and what they're doing. My goal is to reach people so that they don't get taken advantage of. The scammer isn't my goal. It's the people around them. I want them to stop getting taken advantage of. Accuracy. Is the information being shared truthful and verifiable? Will I designate what's fact and what's my opinion? Proportionality. Does the response match the severity of the alleged scam? I think so. They probably don't, but I do. So while exposing a scam can be a valuable service, it is crucial to do so responsibly and ethically. Crossing the line into personal attacks and harassment turns awareness into bullying. TikTok themselves have put in effort to try to combat cyberbullying, so they do recognize that it is a problem. The fact that I can go live, who pinned that comment? Melody, would you like to come in the box and tell me what false accusations I make?
I pinned it because I wanted to make sure you saw it. So,
Okay.
because I
Oh,
know
no
that
worries.
Melody needs some attention. So, if she wants to come up and ask her question, then by all means.
Come on, Melody. You got about 20 minutes.
She got about 20 seconds to request a box.
LOL, to be attacked by your clan. Ma'am, you have already posted the claim. So if you were going to be attacked, you would already have done that to yourself. I didn't do it. You did it. Is that Topanga? Probably. Or one of their sycophants. If you aren't prepared to come up here and tell me what I've said or done, then keep it to yourself. Because just throwing that out there means absolutely nothing. Have I made mistakes? Yes. But guess what? If you were here for any length of time, you would know that when I get something wrong, I come up here and I say I got it wrong. You literally accuse people of being rug addicts with no proof. Who, Melody? Melody, I'm not going to go back and forth with you in the comments because you're taking me away from what I intended to do. If you are not prepared to box, then be quiet. Dory. I'm sorry, honey. Right. I think they really think that they can put something out there. They screenshot it so that they could talk with their little friends and kiki ha ha ha, but they aren't prepared to face
Melody Cass
anything.
made a good point too. I'm going to drop down so it can just be you two.
Oh, she wants to come up?
Well, no, but Cass made a good point. If it might be better if she'll come up, she feel more comfortable with just you and her talking.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it, CJ. That's the difference. I'm not going to be like the scammers where I'm so thin skinned that I can't take any criticism. What I will say though is if you are going to criticize me, please be prepared to come in the box and tell me. I don't mind being wrong. I don't mind learning something new. If I get it wrong, and my mods know this. If I cross the line, if I go too far, if I'm spewing wrong information, I want to know because I actually have integrity. I actually don't want people to think that I get up here and just make stuff up. It is also why I take notes. When I'm flipping these pages, I'm not flipping them to make a point. I'm actually going back and looking because I don't want to just have to rely on my memory. I'm waiting for the proof. Okay, Melody. I'm gonna move on because you can't be serious. So let's talk about her. Now, this is what I want to understand. How did we go from laying in bed, boohoo crying about how we couldn't get our medication, that we need money for shelter, we need money for food, we need money for our medication, to getting so well that we got our own place to live with no money, a job that they were able to go in, get an interview, get the job right away, and start working. You have makeup, you have stuff to do your hair. Where did all of these clothes come from? And how did you get this bed? This place that you say is all your own? You can't tell me that somebody didn't fund that entire project. But if somebody was doing that for you, why were you on here begging for money? Yes, yes, makeup. I changed the crying picture because I didn't want anybody to be like, you're bullying her. Can somebody explain that to me? And suddenly she's happy, she's singing, um she's still complaining about Peter. And if it was my dog, I probably would too. Good morning.
Good morning. I misunderstood you. Everyone was talking about the eyeliner. It's like Muslim Indian or something. You like close your eye on the stick and rub it back and forth. It's just a different way to do eyeliner.
Oh, okay. I
That's
wasn't
all.
even paying attention. Oh, because they thought it was lipstick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you can drop me. I misunderstood what you said. You said explain it to me, and I thought you meant the
Oh,
make
the
out.
eyeliner. Oh, okay, no problem. But thank you for the clarification because I didn't know that either.
All right. Have a good one, Digital.
You too. Yeah, it does. It looks like lipstick, but it is what it is. I won't watch her at all. What happened to Peter? When she got arrested, her half sister had come and got him, and apparently put all of her stuff in storage. So she knows where Peter is. She knows exactly where Peter is. Right. Well, she says that Mama Talked worked with her half sister to steal Peter and all of her stuff. But my question is, if all of your stuff is stolen, why are you only asking for Peter? Or where did all of this other stuff come from? Because literally 4 days ago, you still needed money to get your medication. And if you still have open shingles and you're going and working around people, that's irresponsible. But we'll see. I am sure someone will figure out what's actually going on, and within a few days, we'll all know how it worked. She don't have shingles. She truly needs. She does. I agree with you. She does need help. I'm just not the person that can offer it to her because I'm not a professional. But I agree. I think she does. Right. We are. We are waiting for that person to come to the front of the class. And you want to know what happens usually? Everything is good until it's not. And when it goes south, that person comes to the front of the class and says, I should have listened. You thought it was diarrhea. What was? Now I have 10 minutes. If anybody wants to come up, they can. Oh, verbal. No, they came and got her dog because her dog would have went to the shelter otherwise. The amount of energy I would put into begging, I could have 5 readings booked. Cupcake, I think that's what happened. I think someone took empathy on her, scooped her up, fixed everything for her because there's no way for you to have done that overnight. Because where could she move with no money? Everybody wants first, last, and security. Oh, can somebody come? I heard somebody say she got told off last night. Can somebody come up and tell me what happened? I mean, I can look up the recording, but it's another victim. I do believe that that's what's going to come out. That's we're going to find out what happens when that relationship sours, and she's going to blame it on Mama Top. And I tell you guys this every time. When somebody takes zero accountability for why they are in the situation they are in, I have strong questions about their integrity. It can't always be somebody else's fault. Oh, I'm sure like Nookie might, Scam Slam might go over to YouTube. Right. She never takes accountability. Neither does Sean. Neither does Wes. Never accountability for what they've done to be where they are. It's always what has happened to them rather than what they've done themselves. And you lose me when you don't have any accountability. Yeah, I think there's probably a recording on, especially if she was getting told off. That got posted quick. Alpha told her off. Ooh, where's Alpha? We need somebody, mods, can we send the invitation to Alpha so that Friday morning she could tell us the reasons? I would love that. Because of course I wouldn't want to be accused of misinformation or bullying, of course. All I'm gonna say is y'all gotta come better than that. Oh no, Alpha didn't? Okay. I'm just reading the comments. Alpha's all for a show. Okay. It was G. Okay, well, whoever it was. Oh no, I don't want anybody enabling her. Oh, Brian Ty live. Time to ask for some money. And I bet you any amount of money, the comments will be off. He was probably watching us this morning. And now that he knows that I'm coming to an end, he can go live. I'll be watching, Brian Ty. I'll be watching. Well, since nobody wants to come up. Oh, hey. Oh, no, that's Japonica. I thought that was Topanga. They didn't get their goal yesterday. They sure didn't. But he's going to say, like, somebody gave us money at the last minute. Yeah, I said that. He blamed the tariff. I was like, dang, that was awfully fast. That was awfully fast. Or are you making that up because you want more sympathy? I didn't cover her really, but I did talk about her a little bit. Because we have another birthday we're grifting for. Comments off 8511. Sounds about right. Oh, that's why he ended it. Yeah, they were like, pay up or get out. And the only reason why I laugh is because he gets $967 a month. So why can't, my thing is this, why can't you pay for 2 weeks and then ask for 2 weeks? Why is it somebody else's responsibility to pay for? They have been paying for it since the winter. You mean to tell me you couldn't use any of your money to pay for it? Well, he's going to have to now because people are tired. Well, anyway, guys, I'm going to go. Angie, they both can get a job. And he's like, oh, she can't get a job because she doesn't have ID. Wisconsin has free ID, is my understanding. And a social security card is free. But to start a job, you don't need a social security card. Ask Hippie. Ask Hippie. Her social security card was stolen. How'd she get a job? Who took his check? Who's they? Social Security. Now, now, could they have investigated him and found that he got a whole bunch of money and could they consider it work? Maybe. But I doubt it because he would be panicking. And I don't see any panic yet. Oh, God. Please. Again, everybody else's fault but his. Anyway, I'm gonna go, guys. Thank you all for coming. I'm sorry that it was brief. Right. And now that they're firing people at Social Security, it's gonna take even longer. But everybody have a terrific day. I believe Trolla, you're having a live tonight. Thank you, Sherry. Yes, 7 p.m. Everybody be prepared to be in Trolla's live tonight at 7 p.m. It's gonna all be on Miss Kimmy Pooh, CJ, and All for One. I hope y'all are ready. Everybody go follow Trolla. Come to Trolla's live tonight. I promise it's gonna be a good one. 7 p.m. There's Trolla. Go give her a follow. That's where I'm gonna be at 7 p.m. Honey could be home. I'ma still be there. Oh, I don't know anything about that boy, mama. Who, Kimmy Poo blocked you or Trolla? CJ, she's probably sick of you cheating on her. That's why. What time? Eastern. Oh, Trollavision? Trollavision says she want in on the goods, sir. She don't want to be left out. Okay, guys. I'm out. Have a fantastic day. I'll either see you in the comments or I'll see you Friday morning. Hug your loved ones because tomorrow isn't promised. Thank you. Thank you. Dang, you still blocking people at the... I love Fallon. Bye-bye, everybody.